What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Digging In, and today we're going to be doing another day of full eating. So I'm excited to get to it, and today we're going to be eating a bunch of food, so let's get it. What is good? It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're just getting the day started right here with some fresh water, a little bit of meditation, and daily journaling. I like to write out my to-do list to get my monkey brain on papers. When I wake up, my brain is going crazy. I'm just gonna go start my whip and head down to the gym where we're gonna get a cardio session in and crush the stairs, some bike and some elliptical. Then we're gonna go and hit the spa and grab a quick massage before the day gets started. That is the best way to get the day started. With that, we're going to be making a good protein smoothie with some cherries, some blueberries, some protein mix, and some spinach, and even some chia seeds. We're going to throw that in there after, just blend it up real quick, and we're going to get to the day. So let's get it. Links in the description for all this stuff. As you guys can see, I am just got done making my smoothie. I'm going to actually get to work today. So there's a few things I have to do. I'm up in my office. This is upstairs in my house. And basically what I'm going to do over here is hop on this computer. And I typically don't do the web design portion of a lot of things, but recently I actually had a friend that is basically building up their brand. When I was over there, I was talking to them one night. I decided that I would help them out a little bit, get a website up and running for their brand. That's what I'm gonna be working on today. I do wanna just finish that as we just got through Thanksgiving. Today is Monday, so I wanna get that up for them, especially before the holiday hits. They do a lot of cool things. So what they do is basically they train dogs, like attack dogs, police dogs, and do a bunch of stuff like that. So I'm just gonna hop on the computer. We also built a logo for them as well. One of our designers, he crushed the logo. So I'm gonna do that. And I'm also just going to publish the site for them and send it over to their representative over there. And with that, I'm gonna drink this smoothie. So this one is blueberry. It's about a half a cup blueberry, half a cup dark cherries, and then it's also just a cup of water, 2 cups of spinach, and 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. So as you can see, I stick this straw, it just stays like, I was actually gonna pour this into a bowl and put some granola on top of it, but I am actually just trying to cut some weight. I've lost about 20 pounds in the past like month or so, or 2 months. I am actually trying to cut a lot of weight, as I'd said before in my last show there. Basically, you know, I put on an extra like 100 pounds over 5 years, and so that's terrible. I need to kind of go the other way. So I was at like 265, now I'm at like 245. So now I need to kind of get below that 230 mark and even the 200 mark, because for my height, weight, age, and all that good stuff, you know, anywhere between like 160, 200 if I was like full bulk, but like that's just like almost too much weight. So, you know, and that's just a BMI average. I'm also going to go by how my body feels and how, you know, that's pretty much it, just how my body feels. Now I'm going to go and get to work. Probably put about, I would say maybe about an hour or so into work. Then I actually have a call today with Eric. Eric Emino is our CEO of the company. We hop on a call Monday through Friday, every day at 10 o'clock. And we are starting to tune those down, as this is a new position that I've kind of put him into. He's worked his way up through the company. Now that he's at the top, I'm helping him out every single day to make sure he has what he needs. Eventually we'll kind of taper that off, and I'll go to maybe once a week, or even all the way down to once a quarter. But we are also good friends, so the conversations, a lot of the times it's about 20% work and 80% of us just talking and communication. So let's get to work. So, all right, I guess my power just went out. That ends that. Basically, what I'm going to be doing now is, now that I have some time to actually sit down and do some work. Before, as you may have seen, I like to do a little bit of maybe like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of, you know, meditation. And then after that, I do 10 to 15 minutes of releasing my monkey brain on paper. And, you know, what I mean by that is basically, this is my to-do list for today. And as you guys can see, I have a bunch of stuff here that I have to do. These to-do things, what I like to do is organize that a little bit further after I get back from the gym. I've sat down, consumed some calories, get some energy in me. But from there, I put this on a calendar. So as you guys can see, it is Sunday through Saturday. And how this works is I split this up into 3 blocks. And then I have morning, afternoon, and my nighttime. So as you guys can see, this is like morning, this is afternoon, this is night. And from there, what I do is I just fill everything in. So I have to do basically just like a logo today. And then I also have to do a website and just look over some things, make sure they're right. Because it is a friend of mine, I want to make sure that that website is looking prime, and I want to get it to them before the holidays hit. So that's kind of a little gift from me to them. There's also our 10 a.m. calls. So our 10 a.m. calls happen every morning, Monday through Friday, like I was talking about before. Eventually I'm gonna take that away probably and start to lessen the amount of time that I spend on those calls, because obviously that adds up. If it's 15 minutes a day, it's an hour out of the week that I've spent on a call. So eventually I'll batch all of that. As you can see, if I ever see things more than on 3 days at a time, usually what I'll try to do is batch them and schedule them for the end of the week. So what would end up happening is on Friday we would hop on a call, and then maybe I'll call in between to kind of do some check-ins and stuff like that. Those are the 10 a.m. calls, and then I'm gonna find some more LinkedIn reach out people, because more booked meetings equals more showing our opportunity to people, and the more we show our opportunity to people, the more customers we get and the bigger our company grows. So that's really the mechanics behind building a company, is just whoever is able to get the most eyeballs on their thing usually wins. So I'm going to be looking for some people and doing a little bit of talent search. And again, that is something that we are going to bring in over time, is probably people that do talent search, and so that it's done all the time. But really, when we're doing new things, we just got done building the whole back end and building everything over these past 5 years to really build our base, our customer base, and just everything like that. So, you know, over the next 5 years, our plan is to really build up the front end and start to get eyeballs in front of our stuff as much as we can. 10 a.m. call, and then Saturday I like to sit down with a cup of coffee, sit with the dogs, sit and just chill in the morning and go over all the film that I filmed and start to edit them. What I'll do though first is throughout the week I'll do some quick raw edits on my iMovie on my phone, which is nothing special, and then from there I'll actually airdrop it to my MacBook Pro, and then from that Pro I will basically just edit it fully from there. So that way I have one clip of all the best things, and then I'm able to edit it down a little bit further from there. It saves me a lot of time. That's what I'm gonna do. I got my stuff booked out, and I'm gonna put this right here next to my computer so I can see it. We have a company conference call at 3 on Thursdays, so that's really like a whole company-wide call. And I like to be on that call as they do, like our VP of sales and marketing, he actually does education as far as like marketing education, or it may be even just like motivation or sales training or things like that. So I like to hop on those and be there. So I'm going to put that on the schedule as well. That is, this is just a schedule here. Usually I also have these things in my phone on Google Calendar, so it'll help me kind of keep it on the go. But I don't usually do that, as today's Monday. You'll see me, I'll put all that stuff in my Google Calendar on my computer over here. So with that, I'm gonna get to work, and then we're gonna go get to make some more food. Alright, so I am now pretty much done with the website build, everything that comes along with doing that good stuff. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to make some tofu scramble. It is going to be delicious. Then I'm going to hop on that call, and I'm probably going to go take my dogs for a little bit of a hike, and I'll talk to you guys for a little bit while I'm on that as well. So I'm going to be starting the tofu scramble. So I got out a bowl and I have the tofu here in this Tupperware. And what I'm gonna do is just squish that up, put it inside this bowl. I'm gonna chop up some onion, and then I also have some spice here. So I have onion powder, and then I also have garlic powder, and I also have some turmeric, which is really good actually for inflammation. But another thing that this is used for is to make it yellow, like scrambled eggs. And then also some nutritional yeast. So there's like 2 or 3 tablespoons of this stuff. And then I'm gonna also put in a little bit of some vegetable stock as well. So let's put this together, and I'm gonna get it over to the stove. I'm gonna be chopping up a white onion. On the side, I'm gonna be doing a baby spinach, and this is organic baby spinach. So I'm gonna roast this up in the pan, and then also just saute that with some garlic and everything. And then I'm also going to be cooking the Beyond Meat breakfast sausage. So my wife really likes these. And then we're also going to be heating up these, which I've found are some vegan chocolate chip waffles, and they're also organic. I'll try to find the brand. The package was thrown away, obviously, when we were, just putting stuff away from grocery shopping. And so I'm gonna heat up 2 of these for her. I'm not actually gonna have any waffles. I'm probably just gonna have a slice of toast. Now, the bread that I get, it's in the freezer aisle. You guys can probably find this. It's like, hold this upside down here. So this is flourless sprouted grain bread. This is Ezekiel bread, and it's in the frozen aisle, which I like because it obviously stays good for a long time. And it's just a bunch of different sprouted stuff. So if I look on the ingredients list, it's literally organic sprouted wheat, filtered water, organic sprouted flax, organic sprouted barley, organic sprouted millet, and it's all organic. So sprouted
barley, sprouted lentils, sprouted soybeans, sprouted spelt, sprouted yeast, sprouted gluten, sprouted, and just a bunch of other stuff. Organic flax seeds and sea salt is actually the last thing.
So I'm actually going to toast myself up this. I'm also going to have a scoop of peanut butter, and this is the one that I found. I haven't actually tried this brand, so I'm going to give it a test. I usually like the dark roasted peanut butter. They just didn't have it this time, but this is still a crunchy organic peanut butter. And as you guys can see, if you look at the ingredients, it's just dry roasted peanuts is the only ingredient in here, which, you don't really want a bunch of additives and stuff like that. Just trying to stay away from that stuff, especially if you're trying to cut. Stay away from like salts and stuff like that. It makes your body hold a bunch of water and stuff. So it can be good, I guess, for some things, but not so great for other things. You also need it for like electrolytes and stuff like that. But let's get to cooking this. I'm excited. Let's get the stuff in this bowl, get the pan hot over there on the stove, and let's get this breakfast rolling. Alrighty, y'all. So we're gonna be taking out this tofu, give it a good squeeze, and then mash it up. We got some nutritional yeast, some turmeric, some onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and some chicken stock. So what I like to do is just shake that up and mash it up against the bowl. So that way it is good to go, and it'll actually soak up those ingredients. We're just gonna dice up a quick white onion, throw that onto a plate, throw the stuff in the toaster, and just get it ready to make some toast. I don't know if you guys ever seen this, but that is a awesome hack, and it'll save your lettuce. All right, so I got some sausages in the pan, and those are cooking nice. And so what I'd like to do here is just add a little bit of chicken stock to the pan. And I like to use that in substitute for having too much oil or butter. As you can see, there's already a ton of oil in this stuff. So what I'm gonna do is actually flip this once it starts to get cooked a little bit. I'm gonna soak that up with a paper towel. So sparingly, just one sheet of paper towel, fold it over a few different times. What you can do here is kind of soak all this excess up. As you can see, it'll soak it right up. And now obviously that's a lot of good flavor there too. So if you are just in it to get the max flavor,
Flavor Town,
you can leave that, but I like to soak this stuff up because whether you're cooking with meat or like meat substitutes, there's usually a lot of grease in these things, And so I do like to just soak that up so I'm not eating all of that nasty grease. Alright, so now that these are already cooked and thawed, what I'm going to do is I have a little bit of onion here. Now what I'm going to do is do that here. So I have a little bit of onion here. I'm going to just toss that in and put a little bit of vegetable stock on there just to get them cooking. And since this is a non-stick pan too, I'm going to try to use some non-stick utensils instead of just using like a fork or something, because then you don't really want that to get into your food. We're just going to flip these sausages over. One side's done. These onions are nice and cooked. And what I'm looking for here is to get these onions almost like clear and a little bit of a brown on them. So I'm actually going to turn this up here. I'm also going to go start my toast and everything. So I'm just going to put that on 5 minutes over there, just because it doesn't take very long for onions to cook down. For this stuff, we're going to throw this in last. And then I also have my scramble here. And one of the things too that is really important is a thing called
mise en place. In English or American, you could say mise en place. Mise en place. But in French, typical French pronunciation, mise en
place. And so mise en place is a French term for everything is in its place. And basically, when you have everything in its place, it's a lot easier. So like, portion out all your stuff and then put it up on the stove top. Don't try to run back and forth like a madman chopping stuff and cooking. Just chop all your stuff once, move to the stove, cook all your stuff once, and then, you know, so on and so forth. Or even when you go to gather stuff from the fridge, if you can grab it all at once, that'll save you guys some time. So that's pretty much what we're looking for here. Is these onions are starting to caramelize, and I'm actually pushing a little bit of that fat in from the sausages as well with my scooper here, a little spatula, and some of that extra fat. That's why I also didn't add any, just because I know that these had a little bit of grease in them, like quite a bit actually. And I'm not having like a bunch of this stuff either. You know, I'm probably gonna have like 1.5 sausages, so I like to, you know, conserve on how much I'm eating of this styled stuff, just because it's not super great for you. And I'm also going to be making a bacon later on, so I'll show you guys how to do that, but I only wanted to do like one substitute at a time. So I'm just going to throw this egg in here now. As you can see, these things work really well to get like all the stuff out of here. You don't really want to miss any of that flavor, and also you want to use up everything as much as possible. And as you can see, I used, let's see, like 2/3 of a block of tofu. A block of tofu is about 5 servings, so this is actually like 3 servings, maybe even 4. And as you start to see this cook down, it actually turns a little bit more yellow as well. And that's from the turmeric. And that turmeric, you can smell it, it's so good. I guarantee you guys, if you guys try this, it is just like the best thing ever as far as like eggs go, or as far as I've had so far on my journey. And there's other ones too. I've tried like Just Egg is another one. And there's some other ones too that I haven't tried, but so far this has definitely been my favorite. Just Egg is actually kind of nice if you want to do like omelets and stuff like that. And I'm just stirring this so it doesn't burn. And I have my heat on about medium. So I'm on a 6. This is an electric stove, which again, I'm not really a huge fan of electric stoves. I really like gas a lot more, but at the same time, this is what this house had when we came in. And this is what we're gonna have when we leave this place. Because eventually, probably just gonna end up renting this home. There's no point in us living here full time, coming to the next few years here. So we do hope to basically just rent this out and have it help pay for a better place. And also to we're paying down our equity on this place and doing a few other things as well. So over time, it'll all pan out. So what I'm going to do here is, now that this egg is cooked, I'm going to, and these are cooked as well, I'm going to stack these all up. And I'm also going to push all the egg over to the side of the pan. And now I'm just doing this so I don't have to cook and clean a bunch of pans really. So, you know, instead of cleaning a bunch of pans, I'm just going to use one. There we go. And now we're going to cook this. Now this is going to cook down a lot, which is, again, kind of why I actually like cooking stuff like this. You'll be surprised how much this actually cooks down. Again, we're just going to give it a little bit of splash of this. That'll help steam it. And then we're going to give it a little bit of garlic powder too. And then we're just going to turn this down to about 3 because we're really just trying to wilt it. And we also don't want to burn the garlic powder. And then last but not least, I'm going to be throwing in just a little bit of this pepper and salt mix. So this is just pepper and salt. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of this in there. Not too much. Don't overdo it. And that's going to be just about it. As you can see, this is already really wilting down here. And you can smell that garlic coming off of this. It smells so good. Look at how much that wilts down. It's crazy how much that cooks down so quickly. Alright, and then that's pretty much it. So you want to just take it off the heat. It's done. You still want some leaves kind of crispy in here and stuff like that, but overall, this meal is done. So now I've got this and the egg and everything. So now I'm just going to plate this plate, and what I'm going to do is do some greens, leave some for Izzy here. Then I'm going to put a few of these guys on there, and I'm also going to get a nice scoop of this stuff as well. And these are so creamy and like just so good. So then I'm just going to take a little bit of this organic dried parsley, just put it up on top of the eggs, and voila, look at that. That is a delicious breakfast. I'm going to put some peanut butter up on the toast, and that's it for the breakfast. Might even use a little bit of sugar-free ketchup. All right, it's time to dig in. That tastes so good. And I think the vegetable stock really makes it because, you know, you're supposed to use like olive oil and then like an oat milk or a soy milk. I like just using vegetable stock. I think it tastes even better. These sausages are definitely unreal. And this spinach is really good. Just plain garlic, salt, and pepper. And this bread, with all the grains in there, you can really taste the texture. And it just tastes really good. You guys definitely gonna have to try this. But I'm gonna go and get a little bit of a walk-in after breakfast. Me and my wife are gonna sit down, have some breakfast. And after that, I'm gonna go, like I said, just go get a little bit of mid-afternoon exercise. And from there, that's pretty much it. I also have to hop on that 10 a.m. call. So it's looking like it's 9:40. Get about 20 minutes in, run the call, then go for a little bit of a walk, work up an appetite. And then from there, I'm gonna be coming back, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of education for myself, more on like building a YouTube channel and stuff like that. And then from there, I'm going to probably make some more food. What's going on, guys? I am out on my hike now. It is after breakfast, and look at this, guys. The sun is actually out right now. It's looking super, super beautiful. And I'm actually just hiking over. There's a bunch of different little ponds out here. Again, I'm in New Hampshire, so there's a lot of cool little spots to go hiking throughout the day. Obviously, weather permitting. Sometimes it is rainy and cold. Sometimes it's actually not even bad to go out, but you know, if it gets too cold, and soon through the winter, I do enjoy a little bit of snowshoeing as well. So you guys are going to get to see that. But first, I'm going to take you to one of my favorite spots to just come and hang out. And by the way, I don't know who in their right mind comes out here and leaves a random tire this far out. Like, did they carry this tire all the way out into the woods to bring this tire here? It looks like it would make a nice tire swing. Maybe I should bring some rope out here and connect that up one day. So this is definitely one of my favorite spots in the summer. I come here, hang out on this rock, and these leaves grow in. I do believe this is a maple tree, I do want to say, or an oak tree. I think it's actually an oak tree. But this tree is just awesome to sit under. A few of my friends have climbed up this thing before. I've seen people climb up here. I've even climbed up a little bit. When I was a kid, we used to climb trees super, super high up and hang out way in the top of trees. But as I've gotten older, obviously, you know, a big fall like that would probably end me now. When I was a kid, I was more like Gumby, just kind of fall off the ground and bounce back up and be fine. And so, but this is definitely one of my favorite spots on this lake, or on this pond. And I'm going to show you guys a few other spots. This is definitely number one on my list. So this is definitely one of my favorite trails to take, and this leads out to a really cool spot. So this is definitely a nice and sunny spot to be sitting in, as you guys can see. And I'm just trying to be kind of quiet because sometimes there's some pretty cool nature out here that you can catch. Like, I've walked up on deer and also there's other animals out here, but this is definitely one of my favorite spots to be out here. And it's just really peaceful, and it's super cool with all of these cat's tails and other little shrubs coming out, I guess. Not really sure, whatever that is coming out, but it's pretty cool. And right now you can actually hear the snow melting because it snowed the other day. You guys can see on my last video. All right, so this is definitely my next favorite spot on this trail, and one of the last ones here. There's also some other pretty cool spots, but these are definitely more of the mainstream spots on this trail. But I love sitting on this bench and just looking out at that view, catching some sunshine, and getting that vitamin D. Recipe, just go and check the description below. You guys can grab my recipe, but with that being said, we're gonna go and cook up some frozen veg and make a fire tahini sauce. It is so good and really makes this dish. And usually I like to use a little bit of mustard to actually bind everything together, stick it in the fridge, and crisp up some other stuff. Now I got a bunch of veg, so I'm just gonna plate everything up here and get ready to eat because I am starving from that hike, especially after hitting the gym early this morning. Now I'm just gonna throw in some fresh vegetables. I love throwing in some fresh stuff, as you guys will see here in a second. but just top it off with that dressing and it is ready to eat. Let's go. All right, so it's time to try this dish right here. It is looking so good. I'm starving after that hike. This is delicious. So good. Really, really rejuvenating. The tahini sauce really makes it too. I think by making the extra tahini sauce, that is like the cherry on top, basically. But oh my god, these mushrooms. Let's see if I can get a name. These mushrooms right here are super delicious. The kimchi with the broccoli sprouts, and this right here is just some fresh spinach. I like some fresh cold stuff with also some hot stuff, and then there's a base of rice in there. So it is so good, and I'm gonna get to it. So I'm gonna catch you guys all on the next cut. Alrighty, y'all, so we are back at it again for another fire dinner. We're just gonna chop up some fresh vegetables and toss these all into a bowl. And again, if you guys want the recipe, definitely just go down in the description below. But we got red cabbage, onion, lettuce, and all sorts of goodness, even some broccoli sprouts and some other good stuff. We just toss that up with some lime juice and also some salt and pepper. Now in here in this pan, we're just gonna throw in some corn and some beef crumble, and then we're gonna throw in some other spices as well as the twin pillars. As always, guys, you know that I love that onion powder and garlic powder. And then these are also just some buffalo tenders that I made the other day. These guys are going to be your buffalo cauliflower, and I just sprinkled that on top with all the other cooked stuff and a little bit of follow your heart cheese and some pepperoncinis, and toss those in the oven at around 400 to 450 degrees. After that, they came out. I just tossed some salad and that fresh green up on top with some avocado and some salsa. That is so delicious. The buffalo is so good. All right, guys, so it is time for my dogs to get dinner. Say hello, Yuki. Hey, buddy. All right, so guys, make sure to subscribe before I get attacked by all my dogs, and make sure to like this video, and make sure to also comment a time when you guys got value in this video. Make sure to drop a timestamp, and I would love to make more content based around what you guys like and what I can do for you guys as my audience, and I would love to hear from you guys. Also, make sure to tag me in your own recipes and the recipes that you guys make from all this, because after all, I would love to see what you guys make of all this stuff. So with that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you guys are tuning in from, and I hope to see you guys all in the next episode of Digging In. Take care.